trying to align these so that they. All right.
Hey guys.
That looks good to me. That look good to you?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Enough light.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let me adjust this slightly. Give people time to populate.
Yep. Hop on up, guys. Hop on in. Let us know where you're from. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Is that better?
Yeah.
That looks better. Wow, I feel like that light is like really in my face. Okay. What's going on, Facebook family? Hope everybody's doing good. And welcome, IG family. I don't forget about you guys. I'm sorry. I just, force of habit. But I hope everybody's doing well. Since the last time we talked to you guys live. Welcome to our October edition of Health Talk with the Mott. This evening's topic that we'll be talking about is, why am I so tired all the time? This is something I feel like, especially this time of year, tends to plague a lot of people, that feeling of fatigue. But it was just something that I had even mentioned to Dana. It's something that even I deal with and struggle with a little bit. And so it kind of led me to do a little bit of research, and some of the information that I found for myself and that Dana and I did some research on, we'd like to share with you guys tonight. So that's going to be tonight's topic.
Yes, so if you tired of being tired, you in the right place.
Always tired of being tired.
Yes.
All right. So once again, the format is, if you guys have any questions while we're giving some of this information, feel free to fire them off in the chat. And we'll go back and look at them later. And then also let us know where you're watching from as well in the chat. So I think I had 10 reasons.
Okay.
You have up to 10? Or are you close? Something like that. But we'll just kind of, I guess we'll go back and forth. So I'm going to allow Dana to start, because maybe we might have some overlapping information. Give us the first one you have.
The first one I had was get more sleep.
Oh, yeah. Now, that one might be a struggle for a lot of people, especially our generation, because sometimes we have either busy lifestyles, or maybe we have a hard time turning our brain off at night to go to sleep, or maybe we're one of those people that like to stay up and watch the TV all night. So that one can be a struggle. It was mentioned in the research that the average adult who's about our age, we're in our early 30s, needs anywhere from 6 to 7 hours of sleep, preferably 7 hours. And that's not just like time laying in the bed. That's like actually asleep, allowing your brain to wind down so that you can get into those REM cycles of sleep and really help to refresh your body. I know we've talked a lot in the past about, how beneficial
so we're talking restful sleep, right? Not just laying your head down on the pillow, but consistent, like Anthony had mentioned, that deep REM sleep. So a few things to kind of be aware of, like many people suffer from sleep apnea, which in general, basically during the night, you stop breathing and start breathing and stop breathing and stop. The problem with that is you're not getting into those deep depths of sleep. So while you may feel like, well, what do you mean? I went to bed at this time and I woke up at that time, so I got sleep. But it wasn't the restful sleep. So you are still sleep deprived. So you're going to be tired. You're going to be fatigued during the entire day. So it is so crucially important that you're getting into those deep realms of sleep. The other big thing to keep in mind is a lot of people want to fall asleep to electronics, or maybe have their phones in the same bedroom with them. We know that for our brain, when we have electronics and artificial lights and things going on, it's firing to our brain like action, 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 action. So even if we are not focused on that information, if we have those lights constantly glaring, our brain is constantly going, and it takes hours for it to transition from all those flashing lights. So really it's recommended put down the electronics 3 hours before you're trying to go to bed, right? So for me, my philosophy is, don't even have a TV in your bedroom, but I know many people, of course, do, but you don't want to fall asleep to the TV. You don't want to fall asleep with your phone near your bed, or even, if you have to charge it and things like that, put it in another room.
Yeah. I would further agree with you on that, but I'm the bad culprit when it comes to that. So I'll give you the other side of it. I mean, if you're that type of person and it's just like, for years I've been used to sleeping with the TV on, understand that that's going to be a trade-off, number one. So the quality of your sleep is going to be severely affected. But if you are that kind of person that just cannot do without the electronics or cannot put them away, get a blue light filter. If you have an iPhone, there's apps on the Apple Store, or if you have an Android in the Google Play Store, to block out blue light. Blue light is what messes with your brain the most, especially when it's trying to wind down and go to sleep. So if you are those stubborn people like me, get yourself a nightlight filter or a blue light filter for your electronics.
If you're an alien like me, you have no issues with that. I literally, when I had my first place, did not own a TV until enough people came over and was like, this is so weird. I've never met someone without a TV. And so I bought a TV to appease the people that came over.
The funny thing, we bought that TV together. Yeah. That's the funny thing. And we still have it. Wow. Yeah, that TV, we did buy that together. And that was one of the first things I know. You don't have a TV. Okay. All right. I'm getting sidetracked. All right, let's move on to actually the one that was number one on my list was consuming too many refined carbs.
Okay, so let's talk diet.
Yeah.
Yes, diet.
So diet plays a huge factor. There's a couple things, and maybe I'll combine three of these into one, because like refined carbs, so they're processed carbs, and they give your body like instant, carbs turns into sugar. So that gives you that instant burst of energy. But the one thing about refined carbs is when your body has that instant boost of energy, it's not sustained, and your body has to produce more insulin to try to balance out your insulin or your sugar levels within your body. And usually once that's all out of your system, like you feel that crash, yes. Like a really, really bad crash. So, I mean, the same behavior has been linked to like energy drinks, and even some people are that way with caffeine, like their coffee, their sodas, things of that nature. But more specifically, I guess the list mentioned carbs because that's one of the things that's so hard to steer away from. Like sugar is almost in everything, but like let's say you're like a huge pasta person, like I love pasta. You really have to be careful. So maybe one of the other things that you can do is be aware of that, obviously what you're taking into your body, but also try more whole grains.
Yes. You are what you eat. It's so, so true, right? If you eat fast, cheap food, you're going to feel that way, right? Because food is life. Food is energy. Food is, we are supposed to get all of our beautiful nutrients and everything that we need in our foods. Sadly, we don't, but that's where we're supposed to get everything. So if we're not eating live living foods, we're not going to feel good, right? We're going to be tired. We don't have the fuel to give us what our bodies really need.
Yeah. And then the other thing I'll add to that, and this is why I said, well, I guess I'll kind of combine these. One of the other things was maybe you have a food sensitivity. So if there's certain foods that don't agree with your body, that can actually cause your body to work harder than it needs to. And so now we have another issue when it comes to your energy, because your body's working a lot harder than it usually has to, or it should be.
Right. It's like I'm tired.
Yeah, and that's going to manifest itself in other ways,
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we've talked about it in other health talks with the Motts. We're very huge advocates for not necessarily diets, but making wise lifestyle choices, especially when it comes to your food. So just something to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm shooting over you. What you got?
Avoid sugar. So he said, the carbs is high, but I'm like, sugar is even higher. And especially this time of year, oh my goodness, sugar. It's so bad. Processed sugars.
Why do you say that this time of year?
Because immunity goes down. So energy levels go down. Sugar's the devil. No.
Don't tell people that. They're probably, I bet you there's somebody sitting in front of their computer right now and they're like, what did she just say?
But processed sugars, just there's so many adverse effects from consuming too much processed sugars, and it's really, really depleting your energy. It's really depleting your immune system. Like everything that your body is like, I'm trying to do to help you and support you, like it's just counter, like, you know. So, and it's one of those things that are in everything, as Anthony had mentioned, so it's hard to avoid. But processed sugars are so bad, and they could be crashing your system over and over and over throughout the day. Can
I add something to that really quickly? So sometimes people, you know, we constantly feel the need to snack, and so the problem with that is a lot of the things that we may grab to snack on actually have a lot of processed sugars in them. So maybe a good thing that you could do instead is like try to definitely make your own snacks, but snack on live foods or peanut butter.
Yeah, nuts.
Is an excellent nuts or peanut butter is an excellent source of, you know, something that'll give you, like if you have a little bit of a sweet tooth, something that'll give you a little bit of a, you know, fulfill that sweetness, you know, like bananas and peanut butter, but also give you energy without having processed sugar. So just something to think about.
The other thing that, again, we should get in our foods that many times if we have, we're deficient in it, it could cause low energy, is magnesium. So magnesium is needed for 300 biochemical reactions, including breaking down glucose into energy. Right? So if you are not getting enough magnesium in your system and in your body, then your body is not going to convert enough to keep those energy levels high. So I know for me, like every single day, I take a Young Living supplement called Mega Cal. So I know that my minerals are very low because I don't get a lot of that from all of the foods that I eat, even though I do eat whole foods and things like that. So magnesium. The Mega Cal also has the calcium, which I need, and I don't get enough of either. So magnesium is so crucially important, especially in women, but men also. But making sure your mineral levels are where they need to be. You can, again, get a lot of these in your foods, but you're more than likely, if you're still finding that, hey, I'm eating well, I'm doing certain things, and I still have low energy, I'm getting good sleep, you know, all the other things you're saying, I'm doing, and you still have low energy, check those mineral levels. Magnesium. I know I just did a scan. Number one on my list came up mineral essence, which is funny because I take mineral essence every day, but I'm not getting enough.
Okay. So let's move on to the next one. Let's talk about this one. Sedentary lifestyle.
Ooh, get out and move.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I love technology, but it's also probably one of the worst things that happened for the human race. Just because we're so used to, like, maybe we work a job or something like that and we get off and the first thing that we want to do is come home, lay in front of the TV. And that's pretty much what our evening looks like. Which some days you may need that, but you also need to make sure that you stay active and move. When your body is not used to exercising on the regular or getting some type of regular movement, then it says, okay, our normal state is, all right, chill mode. Yep. You know, it's, and so therefore it's like we don't have to expend any more energy than normal because we know that, hey, at 5 o'clock, I'm going to go home and I'm going to lay down and that's what we're going to do for the rest of the evening. So I will say that this is probably something that's harder to implement at first because we constantly hear people are like, oh, I will go to the gym, but I'm too tired to go to the gym. But the reality is if you get some type of exercise and you push yourself to do it, then it's going to become easier and easier because your body's going to start to demand that it produce more energy. So definitely get up and move.
And really the reality again too is that actually is going to in the end give you more energy. So exerting that energy in movement actually gives you more energy. You're going to be more energetic and your span of your day. So I know for me, the first thing in the morning, I like to get up and move, have some type of motion. And honestly, you can customize that to your body, what you need. You know, for some people, maybe doing a little yoga is good for them. Some people, they like a lot of cardio. Some people, weightlifting. So movement can be very, very different, or it doesn't even have to be really that extensive. Just get out and walk for 30 minutes. There's so many benefits with just something super, super small like that. It's good to get the heart rate up. But again, just movement makes such a difference. Even when you think about like your bones and things like that, preventing things like osteoporosis, again, move.
and then I'll also say for maybe like an individual who might struggle with, getting into, some type of activity, like make small changes. Start with those. So maybe stand instead of sit, or instead of taking the elevator or the escalator, take the stairs. Those are small things that you can implement in your lifestyle that are going to start to gradually make you feel better, make you feel and have more energy, and then you can move on to some of those bigger things.
Yes.
Definitely, like I said, I'm a huge advocate for technology, as you probably see on our page. I'm always installing something technical within the house, but at the same time, it has to stay in its proper place. And make sure you have activity. Make sure the body's active as well. So, I'm sorry, go ahead. Did you have one next?
Reduce stress.
Oh, yeah. This is a huge one. Okay. So let's talk about this one. So I just was telling Dana earlier, like my personality type, I stress really, really easy. So I try to lead a lifestyle that doesn't lead to me having unnecessary stress on my body, because I can tell, like I instantly start to feel fatigue. Like this is a huge one. And we talk about how stress can manifest itself emotionally and mentally, but also how it can manifest itself physically. Like your your muscles are more uptight. There's a lot going on chemically within your body as well, and that can be draining on the body. So definitely try to eliminate as much stress as possible. I know I constantly keep my stress away oil with me, which I've also nicknamed "Don't whoop your kids right now" because people are looking. But it's so important. We talk about eliminating as much stress as possible, even for general health. Like I mean, it even affects your immune system.
Yeah, and the reality is too. Again, you can be doing all these wonderful, great things, but if you're stressed out, like your body is not absorbing it. Like you can eat a salad every single day, but if you're stressed, like the body is not absorbing any of the nutrients, right? So like stress is so huge, and that could be if you're stressed, depressed, have anxiety, and then you're trying to go to sleep at night, a lot of that is still manifesting. A lot of that is still festered within you, and so you're not getting into those deep REM sleep. So again, stress is so vitally important. To find something, a practice that for you gives you a little bit of balance, relaxes you. A lot of people I know do like meditation, things like that, but really something that can relieve and reduce stress.
Or even reading. I mean, reading can help too, all right, so let's talk about this other one. I mean, I meant to mention this one in diet too, but not taking in enough calories. So having a caloric deficit can affect the body hugely. One of the things that is mentioned is that most people require about 1,200 calories a day minimum. Now, I know this is America, and most people eat way more than that. I mean, like 1,200, like for a person maybe that eats like fast food, that's like the first meal that they have in the day. That's 1,200 alone. But understand that the more that you eat, it keeps your metabolism up. And so your metabolism is what turns food into energy. The more food that you take in, the more energy that your body can potentially have. So making sure that you're eating enough is also a huge factor. But on the flip side, I mean, overeating can also cause the body to work way harder than it needs to, and therefore it can also drain you of energy and make you feel more tired than usual as well. So making sure that you're taking in anywhere from, I know the general rule used to be anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day. Now that may vary depending on the person, but making sure that you're at least taking in what's adequate for your size, your weight, your height, all of that is important to having enough energy throughout the day.
Mm-hmm. And I'll add to that, stay hydrated, right? So that's another big thing. People aren't drinking enough water. So really you need half your body weight in ounces plus 20 more ounces, right? Be active, move, and get plenty of water and hydration through your system. That's going to help with your energy levels as well.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Remember too that your body is primarily made up of water, and when it's doing some of the functions and things that the body does, like that water is getting used up. So if you don't replenish it, I mean, it's kind of like not putting gas in a vehicle.
Right.
You know, it's only going to drive so far before it says, "Oh, we're done."
Yep.
You know, so it's important to stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated.
All right. So another one I want to add is we talked about making sure that you're getting enough sleep, but I can't leave out my people who work midnights and second shift because I know that this affected me huge, and I feel like it still kind of lingers with me. But when you sleep at the wrong time of the day, so like, you know, unless you are able to block out the sunlight within the room that you sleep, like maybe you're a day sleeper or you want to take a quick nap or something like that, make sure that, you know, the room that you're in is as dark as possible. Yeah, water. Make sure the room is as dark as possible, because what happens is that messes up your circadian rhythm. When you're trying to sleep and there's sunlight out, your brain is like, whoa, wait a minute, it's not nighttime, it's not time to go to bed. So it's confused, and that causes all kinds of issues with your regular sleep schedule. So just be aware that I know it's tough for those that work, you know, those kinds of hours and things like that, but, you know, adding things like blackout curtains, I know that I would diffuse certain oils to help me relax and unwind, kind of tell the brain like, okay, this is our sleep schedule.
This is nighttime.
Right. And kind of create that atmosphere just so that your circadian rhythm doesn't get thrown off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Got anything else for me?
So hormones. Hormones can play a huge factor in this too. And actually, if let's say you're eating well, you're like, I'm moving, you know, I'm pretty much up on all of these things. I take my supplements, but I still have low energy. Check your hormones. And this is for women and men. Particularly though in women, a lot of women have like thyroid issues. So hyperthyroidism, that makes your metabolism sluggish. And it'll leave you drained. Okay, so it's so important. Also, check those levels. Your doctor, your regular practitioner doctor will check the levels for you, and you can get the results for that and see where you are, and find ways to support that, because there are so many natural ways to support that, right? And so you want to balance those hormones. It might be a sign, and you can catch those things early.
And we say all of these things. I mean, these are some of the factors that could contribute. But I mean, Dana, you actually said something that's pretty interesting. Make sure that you check with your doctor too, or your physician, because they're going to be able to actually diagnose and get a full picture of what's going on. But just some of the things that we mentioned, you know, they're places to start. You know, so definitely when it comes to your hormones, I know that sometimes when people go in for visits, that's one of the things that they will check when they take your blood is your hormone levels, and try to do as much as you can to support that, you know, to make sure that you have a healthy thyroid, and make sure that your body is supported as much as possible. Mm-hmm. So overall, I guess the message that I want to spread with you guys: take care of yourself.
Yes.
Especially if you live in Michigan, this time of year is especially hard because the days are starting to get shorter and shorter. Which raises the melatonin levels within your body. So you might start to feel a little bit tired, more so than usual. So if you notice, one of the things at the beginning of the video is Dana said, do we have enough light? I installed LED lighting primarily throughout the main rooms in my house, because as it gets wintertime and the days get shorter, if it's 6 o'clock, I'm not necessarily ready to go to bed. Having that brighter light can kind of help to trick the brain a little bit too. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing you can do. So that's all I had. Did you have anything that you wanted to add?
Yes. So again, let us know where you're from if you have not already. Any questions that you might have, and even if you're watching the replay, please, hashtag replay with any questions that you might have. We'd love to come back and answer any of those as well. So we're glad that everybody was able to join us. You have some...
I'm checking the chat now.
Okay.
It's updating like one by one. So feel free. I'm sorry, guys, if I didn't see your question earlier. I'm going to try and go back and answer them now. Let's see here. And I apologize for putting my finger in their face, too. All right. So do you want to check IG and see if there's any on there? And I will check this one. Let's see here.
I don't think... No.
Our bedroom is pitch dark. We seriously get the bed. No Wi-Fi, no TVs, etc. At all?
My sister.
Oh, wow. Hey, we have people. So if you're stressed out, yeah, we got to eliminate some of that stress. It's really going to help your body. All right. Okay. So it looks like there's more comments. So that's fine. If you think of anything, feel free to throw it in the chat down below.
Or the comments.
The comments. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. But with that being said, thank everybody for tuning in, and we look forward to talking to you guys on our next month's Health Talk with the Motts. Feel free to continue to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We also have our podcast under the name of DNA Wellness, and we are almost everywhere. Like Dana does a good job.
Yeah, so we're on Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes, wherever podcasts can be found, as well as our YouTube, DNA Wellness. We'll have it sectioned off where we will upload the Health Talk with the Motts. But share, like, and subscribe, because that's really how we build our community. If you are finding any type of benefit from this, more people might need to hear this too. So we appreciate everybody. Our main purpose is to really help other people, because it's things that we've dealt with, we struggled with, and so we're finding and investigating solutions, and we want to just share that with other people.
There you go. All right, I'm going to set everybody free. Everyone have a good night, and we'll talk to you next time.
All right. Bye, guys.